And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals, those grand finales here of the StarCraft Evolution League Championship Season 2. It's been an intense tournament with multiple group stages, with the playoff bracket as well, with even plenty of qualifiers and ways to get into the event. And now we've made it here. We made it to the final two players of the tournament. We have TaeJa and TaeJa and Classic facing off for the finals. TaeJa did take down Rogue earlier in the semis, but now we have a TVP for the grand finals. It's been amazing to see the return of TaeJa. And TaeJa has been devoting a lot of time to StarCraft Evolution, and this is a rematch. Again, these two players, they faced off around a month ago in a best-of-9 show match. They played a big show match, the Yankee Epic series, and Classic did look very dominant in that series. We'll see if TaeJa can get his revenge. We'll see if in that month's time TaeJa has improved enough to take it to Classic. Again, Classic, he is the best Protoss in SE Evo, so a very strong player to try to bring down. We'll see if he can be stopped. See if he can be stopped. Creator, he did pose somewhat of a threat. TaeJa, he now steps up to the ring. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on Maganatha. We're jumping into our fresh best of 9. Let's go. Aye. We're jumping to our best of 9 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran, the SE2 Terran. It is TaeJa. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Broodor Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. Here we go. We have our series, we have our best of 9, and we'll see how TaeJa will approach this matchup as well. Something that we have seen a lot from TaeJa when he plays SE2 Terran is mech. We have seen quite a lot of mech against Protoss, going into battle mech, going into Hellion Cyclone, which is in line with how we have been seeing the SE2 meta shape up against Protoss as well in TVP. We'll see that continues to be the trend, especially coming to Maganatha. Maganatha is the largest map in the map pool. Going for something like mech, I can definitely see working. I can definitely see being viable on this map as well. Meanwhile, from the side of Classic, we're expecting Reaver openers and Reaver drop play. Not saying that's all he can do in this matchup, but it's very meta, it's very standard, it's very common to open up with said Reaver drop. There are some other builds you can go for. We can go for a very gateway heavy composition, going into a more Dragoon heavy composition early on, or even into faster Zealot legs. We'll get into it, so we do embrace our series and embrace our finals. Let's go. And again, TaeJa, he hasn't even been back for that long, which makes it that much more impressive for him to make it to the finals in a way that he has. As despite not being back for long, he has been grinding quite a bit. Been on that grind. And so far we do have a Classic going to be actually hiding his probe here bottom left. Okay, just scouting bottom left, getting his 2 gateway setup up and running. Meanwhile, TaeJa going factory before CC, so double gas opener, going for a delayed expansion, going for a more tech heavy style. With this can lead into Banshee play, can lead into early drop play, can lead into Raven follow up. We'll see where TaeJa takes us, as TaeJa does have options. We have seen a lot of Terran players recently enjoy Hyperflight Rotors and more microable Banshees. I don't know if TaeJa's one to embrace that. As we have our Tech Lab on the way. Tech Lab on the factory. No Widowmine. So no Widowmine drop. No Hellion setup. No vision across the map. As TaeJa, he did SCV Scout earlier. Just went for the SCV Scouts. And we have confirmation is going to be the add-on swap into, I'm leaning more towards Cloak Banshee, but technically can open up Raven. There we go, Banshees are on the way. We have our opener. Oh. As the bunker will finish. Investing into Cloak and not Hyperflight Rotors. Tech Lab also on the factory. And we're waiting to see if we throw down a third CC or another set of factories. Oh boy. As Classic has thrown down the Robo. We mentioned earlier about the Disruptor Drop opener, and that's kind of the direction we're heading in. This was a 2-gate opener first, though, so we're going for a more delayed tech structure. We'll see if he commits into the bay. As the Banshee's moving out. Yep, there it is. Bay is on the way. Another reason why Reaver drops are so popular and so common, not just because of the damage they can do, but also the scouting. It's a good way to scout across the map. Again, Brutal Protoss have very limited uses or limited ways to scout. There's no hallucination, right? There's no sentry, there's no hallucination scout. So they have to rely on something like drop play. Or just their observers. So far picking up 2 SCVs. TaeJa going into the main. There is no shield battery. So this Banshee can pop off. Can and will. There you go. Does 2 shots. 1, 2, 3 probes going down. Getting up to 4. No mining in the main. And no mining whatsoever. The observer's still on the way. Hyperflight rotors in production, which means we're getting to mech. So TaeJa is going to mech it up, which we did assume, we did expect from TaeJa. So Banshee does get out. Does pull out, does pull away. Again, we're doubling down on Banshee tech, on Banshee production, and we're waiting for the extra set of factories. Second Banshee does poke in. Gets another probe. Banshees, they pull back home. More Banshees on the way. Oh, going into a second starport before the second factory. Okay. Going mass Banshee. Alright, going mass Banshee. Tanks getting in position. They are setting up. And Banshees, their goal here, not just to harass, their goal is also going to be to focus on those key units, referring to High Templar, referring to Reavers as well. There's that third CC. Third CC is on the way. He's on the way at the natural. From here, do we just add on swap? Not quite. Building up more Cyclones. Because of the investment into the second starport and all these Banshee upgrades, this is delaying something like Macville accelerators. So we're investing quite heavily here into the Banshees. Now we have accelerators on the way. Again, once we saw Hyperflight rotors, it was telling it was going to be mech. Why we called it earlier. Banshees are being active. Being active, moving out. Yo, shout out to Caprilu Cat in the chat. Gah, papi, gah. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. You're just in time for the finals. Los finales, man. Oh. As Cyclones, they do catch out the... Oh! They do try to catch out the shuttle. Getting a lot of hits in. Cyclone goes down. Shuttles escape. Ooh. Takes out the Marines, but the Reavers will fall. Oh my, never mind. They barely get away. Barely picks up, barely gets away. Look at how low the Reaver and the shuttle are. Ay, ay, ay. He's playing with fire right now. He wants the Marine. He wants him. He gets him. Marine goes down, and Classic has to get the hell out of there. Same time, Banshees, they do hit the third. Ooh, one Banshee goes down. Banshee does fall. Here come the rest of the factories. Let's go. TaeJa is taking his expansion. A little bit surprised here that Classic is still being active with this shuttle. Still being very active. Meanwhile, we've built up to how many Banshees? 6 Banshees so far. How many Ring the Dragoons? At least trying to... Oh, fighting head on, actually. We're going to lose a lot of Banshees. Yeah, a lot of Banshees are going down. We go from 6 down to 5. I mean, still making more. But these are some expensive losses for TaeJa. It's 3 Banshees. 3 Banshees going down. Remember, the mech setup, the supportive setup isn't really there yet because we've invested so hard into the Banshees. Boys are being pulled. Losing 3, but here we go. Tanks do reinforce. TaeJa holds. Ooh, TaeJa, he does hold on. And we're building up into the mid game. We have Storm on the horizon. More tanks. More Banshees. Speaking of chasing down the Dragoons. Dragoons are being chased. Zealots, they do push in. That's a kill, not a cancel on the CC. The Reaver popped off. Kills the command center. So nice pickles here out of Classic. As Reaver's out there. The Reaver gets found. Banshees are flying over the Dragoons though. Yeah, once again losing another 3 Banshees. A little bit careless there from TaeJa. Please add a lot. As back at home, he's just turtling up and building up his tank counts. Building up more tanks, more Hellions, and more Banshees, of course. Oh, the Banshees. As TaeJa does pull away. Pulls away. Classic likewise moving in towards a 3rd. Moving in towards the 3rd race, going for the storm drop. Up! First storm does land. Hellions, they do send in the storms. That's going to be 5 SCV kills so far. 5 SCVs. Another storm into the natural. TaeJa does pull away in time, losing 2 more workers. Classic, he will escape with only the shuttle. So that was some expensive trades there. That was what? 2 Templar, 3 Zealots for 7 SCVs. Again, not the best trade. As we have more Templar moving in. Now again, the goal for these Banshees, as he gets caught out once again, losing 2 more. Ideally, the Banshees, they rotate around the army and they snipe the High Templar. That would be the goal. That'd be the ideal. To use them to snipe the Templar. Speaking of, does find a couple. Force a storm. Jesus. Storm's taking a lot done. Archon goes down. Classic does drop in. Drops into the bases. Gets 8 SCVs, distracting TaeJa. TaeJa likewise gets 8 workers across the map as well. Equivalent damage. Banshees have to pull away. Oh! Have to pull out. Classic gaining map control. He's expanding at every base he can. Now remember, this map is different to regular Maganatha. We have gold bases. Oof, we have 2 fringe gold bases here. Very valuable bases if Classic. But TaeJa, he's maxed, and now finally, instead of just harassing with Banshees, he's pushing with his main army. He's moving out with his mech. We have a tank Hellbat. No battle mech here. More tank heavy style. Storms, ooh, they do soften up those Banshees. Banshees get softened up. More coming in. Oh, they're gonna try to trade. And TaeJa will lose a lot of his Banshees. Nice tank shots. Gets 2 Templar. 2 Templar go down. TaeJa wedging himself into the bases. Does move in. And I'm not sure Classic can stop him. Yeah, brutal tank. No, the move came in. Brutal tank shots. Tanks, they punish this. High Templar going down. Does land a couple of storms, but it's a classic. He will lose far too much here. He plummets in supply, losing all the Dragoons, the Head Templar as well. And TaeJa is going for the kill. He's going for the throats. There's one Templar remaining, no storm. 0 storms left for classic. 0 storms, no reavers, no splash damage. Purely gateway composition. He's going for the base trade. The only chance he has is to go for the base trade to avoid the main army. He's sending it across the map. And we commit to the base trade. TaeJa, he commits. Now, classic does have these gold bases, but there's no saturation. No saturation. CC goes down. Zelce breaking into the main base. TaeJa likewise doing the same. Pushing into the main bases. We have 7 High Templar being produced, but again, they don't actually come out with energy. But not enough for a storm. But that pylons are going down. High Templar, sorry, they do have a storm. Oh, right, they do have Cadarian amulets. They try to zone away. They got their 1 storms. And storms are connecting. And we got some nice storms at a classic, but again, he's just running out of steam. He's running out of army. He's down to what? 4 Dragoons left. He's pushing into tanks, pushing into banshees. TaeJa, he defends back at home. He defends and he attacks. Oh, good. Storms, they break part of the army, but there's still so many more tanks remaining. And TaeJa, he has done it. At this point, he has done it. He has broken classic. He scans, he sees the gold base, at least one of them. But GG. Yeah, GG gets called. The writing is on the wall, and TaeJa, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. TaeJa takes the lead in the series again, and going for this recently popular style of going into mass Banshee mech. Again, as you mentioned, as we saw, the Banshees, their goal there is just to, not just to harass, but also to try to snipe those key units, the Reavers, the High Templar as well. You could argue that TaeJa definitely was being a little bit wasteful at times when it came to the Banshees, but overall he was able to buy enough time for his mech army to amass, for the tanks and for the Hellbats, and eventually he went for one big move out. The one time he pushed with his main army, he ended the game. GG, well played, just massing up that mech army. And with that, we're getting into game number 2. We're going to be loading into Pylon, a much smaller map in the map pool. A much smaller map. Let's go. What is a Dragoon? A Dragoon is technically, is it a, like the spirit of like a dead Protoss unit, right? Inside a mechanical machine. I think Stalkers is similar, actually. I think, right? Question mark? Here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran. We have the Brood War Terran leading the series 1-0. It is TaeJa. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the SE2 Protoss. For Virtus Pro, it is classic. There we go. But there you go. As Cat is saying. But if you it sounds, Cyberjohn, it sounds like you haven't played the Brood War campaign, because that's like a big part of the Brood War campaign. Is one of the Protoss hero units dies, or you think they're dead, but then they come back. They come back in a Dragoon suit. Cyberjohn. SMH my hedge. It's a part of the campaign. It's part of the campaign. Oh. So now we're settling in. For now we're settling in. We do have TaeJa whipping out his Brood War Terran this time. Going for the factory before expand. We have seen TaeJa embrace these early sim timings in the past, but here is looks like he may even just go into mech. We'll see if he goes for a second factory after the first, or if he goes for a 1-1-1. TaeJa has been playing around a little bit with this mass wraith style. I guess it's similar to what we just saw previously, but I'm leaning more towards that second factory. We'll keep an eye on TaeJa. That's why this is that blue group inside the lagoon. They're like a fish tank. Oh no. They're walking back the tank. As we have our CC on the way. Early vulture production out of our Terran. Meanwhile, big shout out to Vindicta, Miguelito, amiga, Miguelito. Ay, 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 ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Buenas noches, buenas noches. I know it's quite late. Over in the land of the Americas, so hope you get some rest. I hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. And welcome to the grand finals of StarCraft Evolution Championship. This is a best of 9 finals between a Classic and TaeJa. TaeJa is going to be going double factory into Mass Vulture. We're expecting add-ons. We're expecting Ion Thrusters and Spider Mines. But TaeJa is once again looking to mech it up. Meanwhile, Classic checking his vision. He has scouted. He has confirmed the second factory. He knows. Classic is aware. Behind this, going for a Twilight Council opener himself. TaeJa, yes, if you haven't been watching StarCraft over the past 2 months, TaeJa, he has been competing again. I should say that he has been competing in StarCraft Evolution. This is not SE2, this is StarCraft Evolution. It is a mod that does bring together Brood War versus SE2. Which is why we have Vultures and Spider Mines. So Brood War versus SE2. Let's go. But yeah, we've been covering TaeJa for the past couple of months. And TaeJa, he only started competing in SE2 a week ago. He played in our Sparkling Tuna Cup, and he also played in Wardy TV Monday as well. So TaeJa has been getting back into it. Blue Station Scout just confirmed the 3 factory setup. Vultures are amassing. Again, prioritizing Spider Mines. TaeJa does move out. We see Classic fully walling up. Getting into Blink, getting into 4-gate Blink Stalker. Okay. Much more aggressive style. After the defense, he can counterattack. We'll have plenty of soldiers to work with. Oh. As he moves in. Does move in. Spider Mines, they can try to bully back their Stalkers. No! Does trigger. One mine goes off. Blink is not ready. Blink is not done. TaeJa trying to force his way in. I'll snipe the sentry. Sentry goes down. Shield Battery's out of NG. And he's taking down the gateways. Yeah, denying gateways, denying some of the production. And it looks like he'll take down another gateway. With this one gateway left. Sorry, 2. He can warp in 2 units at a time. There's barely any production here for Classic. Shield Battery's done. Thankfully, there is the Observer. And Classic holds. Whew. Classic, he does hold on. The Immortals on the horizon. And Classic will save his natural and force a longer game. Behind this, TaeJa throwing down extra factories. Do have the armory on the way. Ion Thrusters as well. And we hold. Do hold on. He's catching up. I'm aware of SE Evo, so does that mean he doesn't want to compete in SE2 still, like as a soul without mod? If you recall, I did just mention that TaeJa, he's been competing in StarCraft Evolution for the past 2 months. He started competing in StarCraft 2 a week ago. So I did mention that before. But yes, for the past week, TaeJa started competing in SE2 tournaments. He competed in our Sparkling Tuna Cup and in Wardy TV Monday. So he's been signing up for Open Cups only very recently. Stamp on the Spider Mines. Jesus. Very close. Does snipe the mines. Again, Classic has gained map control. Behind this, he is on a 4-gate Blink setup. Prism is out, and now TaeJa has to defend. TaeJa's going to be stuck at home. The momentum swings from one player to the other. Classic moving out. Thankfully, TaeJa does have a tank count. First tank is going to go down. He gets 1, he gets 2. Vultures are coming from behind. They try to set up the spider mines. They are unable to. But that's a lot of vultures. Boys are being pulled. TaeJa getting desperate. Again, vultures don't really do much damage head on. No, without their spider mines. And Classic, he may just have too much. He is overwhelming. Classic, he does spot the spider mines as well. Has the observer. So we shouldn't just blindly blink in. Yeah, slowly working through that minefield. But this does buy time. It does buy time, and Classic, he backs up, he expands. Third base on the way, Temple Archives on the way as well. Classic building up into a longer game. He's teching. Meanwhile, TaeJa has no expansion. No third CC yet. Stalker trying to force some friendly fire. Spider Mines will go down. And TaeJa bleeding out a lot of SCVs. Yeah, a lot of workers falling. TaeJa does slip out across the map. Gets 5 probe kills. Some nice damage. Setting up more Spider Mines. In the army. TaeJa now taking up in towards Goliaths. So we have Goliath range on the way. And again, TaeJa is still contained on 2 bases. He's trying to expand. There's that third CC, but again, a bit of a later expansion. Oh. Classic going for the immortal drop. Once again, distracting TaeJa. Does keep him busy. Scan reveals saturation. He knows he has to break out. And he will. Does break out of his main. A couple of boys are being pulled. Oh, okay, they're going back. And Classic goes to the backstab. We're going for the base trade. Classic, he does hit the natural, and it's all or nothing for TaeJa. He has to send it. Trying to push into the bases. SV is going to be going down. Tanks are still lagging behind, and there's the recall. Classic, he recalls back home. Tanks, they will siege. Oh, Goliath is here, going for the prism. Forcing a bit of friendly fire. A lot of tanks are falling. Down to 4 tanks. There's 4 tanks left. Oh. Is it going to be enough, though? So there's no mortal. We're getting on top of the robo. Yeah, the production's under fire here. You can see he is focused down the robo. Will be targeted. And that means no more immortals. Okay. No more immortals. TaeJa is close to breaking through. Classic, he needs more time. He needs more warp ins. There's the scan. Backing up a couple of stalkers. Charge is done. Let's go charge as well. Oh. Let's take a mine to the face. TaeJa still waiting for those reinforcements. That's a lot of tanks on the way. TaeJa, he's close to breaking through. He's so close. A little bit more Pappy. And again, these mines do a great job of just buying time. We don't see any major mine connections, but they're just buying time. They're forcing Classic to slowly push in. It means they can't blink forward, as opposed to in StarCraft 2 with Stalkers, they very often just dive on top of tanks. So the mines do zone, they do buy time. They allow the tanks to secure themselves. Vultures are being thrown away. Yeah, a little bit careless there from TaeJa. Blinks in. Oh no, he blinks in. He gets shut down, and TaeJa will take a 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Very intense, very back and forth. Initially, TaeJa, he was forcing the issue. He was pushing into the natural with double factory, sorry, triple factory mass vulture. In the end, Classic, he defended. He survived with 4-gate blink stalker. He contained TaeJa on 2 bases, and he forced the all-in. TaeJa was forced into a 2-base all-in. Things were looking dire for TaeJa. He did commit, and with it, he barely made it across the map. He was able to wedge his tanks in between the bases, siege up on top of the robo. That's maybe the most important part. The robo was the first thing to be targeted down. Without that robo, no more tanks. No tanks, no easy way to push into the no immortals, I should say. No easy way to push into the tank line. GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, TaeJa does extend his lead, and now we're getting into game number 3. A strong start for TaeJa. So far, a strong start, but remember, this is a best of 9. More games ahead of us, Pappy. More games to come. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Vermeer, we have the Brood War Terran player. We have the Red Terran leading the series 2-0. It is TaeJa. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the SE2 Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss player. The South Korean Protoss representing Virtus Pro, down heavily in the series. Can he bounce back? Can he start to recover? It is Classic. Here we go. Momentum is on TaeJa's side. I still do favor Classic coming into this, but I still favor Classic coming into this, but with TaeJa, he has been popping off, has been able to catch Classic with his pants down a couple of times so far. Going for the massive Banshee style in game 1. In game 2, going into the very heavy Vulture start into, of course, the 2-base mech all-in. Here, CC first. CC first out of TaeJa. Welcome 1-0 to Vermeer. Vermeer is a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom left, bottom right, and top left as well. 4 possible spawn locations. So TaeJa does cut corners, does go for a greedy start. TaeJa, he's aware that Classic is either bottom left or top right. Classic sees that TaeJa's either top left or bottom right as well. So they're somewhat aware of each other's spawn locations. We'll soon confirm. Thankfully, there's no cheese, there's no hyper aggression, so there's no real pressure on our players to scout earlier. Classic does scout at top left, TaeJa scouts bottom left. So TaeJa will find Classic. He'll be the first to find him. Here we go. It would be fun to see TaeJa's SE2 Terran versus Classic's Brutal Protoss. We already saw that in game 1. That already happened in game 1. Has already occurred. Do you recommend the VODs? Do you recommend the VODs? We already saw that back. As from here, TaeJa is settling in. Based on the opener, it looks like TaeJa once again is going to go into mech. We're expecting another factory, but we'll see if he goes for a starport into, say, Wraith production. Which we have seen, but now there it is, a double factory going into Mass Vulture. So far, a very similar opener to last game. I say similar just because, remember, it was still CC first, so later production, later factories, but the end goal is the same. Meanwhile, Classic does mix things up, going for a Stargate opener. Interesting. Does open up Stargate, and can open up Oracle. Remember, there's not much anti-air here. If we're opening a Vulture, there's not much anti-air. As a reminder, a prerequisite for making a Goliath is the armory. So you need the armory first to start making Goliaths for anti-air. Checking TaeJa's vision, he did not confirm the tech. So just making Vultures. Just making Vultures, getting to Spider Mines. From here, with slowing things down, is still going to be the Oracle. The Oracle still has a lot of potential to find some damage, especially with TaeJa not scouting yet. As TaeJa does break out, does catch the Stalkers. Yeah, 1-2 Stalkers going to be going down. Does trade with the Vulture. Gets 1. Let's get 1 Vulture. Oracle busts into the main. SCVs are going down. Remember, there's no anti-air. Yeah, no anti-air. SCVs are falling one after the other. Brutal damage here being dealt. Armory just now began, so late armory out of TaeJa. There's a full wall back at home. Vultures, they tickle buildings. And Classic, he's popping off. He's popping off. He's overwhelming. eviscerates the economy, and punishing the lack of scouting from TaeJa. As TaeJa had no idea. Remember, he had no idea what was going on. As the defensive Oracle as well. Immortals on the way. The first gateway is going to go down finally, but there's still a secondary wall behind this. Oof. And the wall will not be broken. The wall stands strong. Again, vultures, they do nothing against buildings. And the Oracle is winning Classic this game. 21 SCV kills, getting up to 22. 23. Aye. Goliaths, they finally arrive after 24 workers have fallen, and Classic takes a massive lead in this game. And he's beginning the comeback. He begins the comeback, man. Let's go. Again, as a reminder, TaeJa, he never saw the Stargates, so we didn't know. Likewise, he went for a delayed armory into delayed Goliath production, so he had no anti-air, he had nothing to respond, nothing to defend. Nothing to work with. This is also why, if you watch Kiwian, Kiwian, whenever he plays mech, not just Kiwian, I want to say, who's the other? Yeah, Kiwian and Dice, I want to say, and Quanta as well. Whenever they play mech, they do often go for earlier armories into blind Goliath against Protoss, just because it's so difficult to scout and confirm what the tech is. So we have seen blind Goliath before. As well as they bust into the bases, trying to find some damage, and they get a couple of probes. 3, 4, 5 probe kills. It's something. At the same time, though, the Oracles, they still wreak havoc. Like, GG gets called. Classic does overwhelm, and with that, we have a back and forth. We have a series. GG. Classic, he does put a point on the board. And with that, it's going to be up to TaeJa here to pick his race of choice, and no surprises here, he's going into SE2 Terran. Let's go. So StarCraft 2 Terran versus Brutal or Protoss. Again, when it comes to game one, we did see TaeJa's mech style here, his battle mech into more traditional mech with Mass Banshee. Are we leaning towards that here as well? I would say not. That was exclusive to Magnatha. Magnatha is a very large map of the map pool, so you can get away with that. Here we're loading into Sylphid. We'll see what our Terran player goes for this time. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Sylphid, we have the SE2 Terran. We have the South Korean Terran. It is TaeJa. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player, the Brutal Protoss. It is a Classic. We go. Again, the one MVP Oracle. As the Oracles, they did straight up just win a Classic the game. Again, TaeJa, to get into anti-air with mech as Brutal Terran, you do have to jump through some hoops, and you have to have that setup already prepared. Otherwise, as you saw, the game can just end. As once again, TaeJa does go CC first. Welcome to Sylphid. Sylphid is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in left side, right side, or top side. Top side is also a possible spawn location. So very common here on these 3 and 4 player spawn maps to just go CC first. Just be greedy. Just because there's less of a chance that your opponent will punish you. Depending on who you're up against, of course. There are some players that are known for cheese, like 3 points and Hon Mono, where you'd probably want to play safe against them. As we are settling in, we'll see if TaeJa once again goes for his 1-1-1 into Cloak Banshee. Otherwise, we could see a 3cc 3 factory setup. True. Classic scouts upside. He confirms TaeJa nowhere to be found, and TaeJa does find Classic immediately. Does find him. Here, TaeJa pulling back. Just getting to his initial opener. No crazy tech yet. I will see if Classic once again goes for a Reaver drop opener. We have seen him mix things up and go for earlier Citadel and earlier Zealot legs. Let's see how he commits. As Dragoons are waddling out, they'll be able to apply some pressure. The bunker will be done in time. Bunker does finish. And TaeJa defends. Behind this is that 1-1-1. Tech Lab on the racks. We're imagining that this is going to be for an add-on swap into Banshee play. I would be surprised though if we do see bio out of TaeJa. Would be interesting. Meanwhile, up there we go. Double starport. So same build. Same build here as game one. We're going double starport, mass Banshee into cloak, into hyperflight rotors. So mass Banshee, then into mech, out of TaeJa. Now, this really worked wonders in game one, but now Classic, he's already experienced it once before. He is now a little bit more aware of the potential of the setup, and now he can have a better reaction and a better response. We'll see if he goes for, say, a Stargate response to go into Corsairs to take over the skies, to then get into Disruption Web. I wouldn't be opposed to that, to be honest, like going into Mass Corsair. But first things first, Classic has to scout, has to confirm. He has seen nothing in the main base yet. He doesn't know. He's unaware. Third TC on the way. I believe we're going for... Do we go for a third starport before the factories? That I can't quite recall. We'll learn together. Banshee does move out. Dragoons are ready. Observer as well. So we're going for a gateway heavy style. We spoke about this earlier about the openers of Classic, and I was like, is it going to go into a Reaver drop or into fast Zealot legs? We're kind of working towards that. We have a mass gateway explosion, and we have speed lots on the way. No Reaver drop this time. So Classic is done with Reaver drops, and we respond with a Stargate. I do like this. He saw, yeah, he scouted the mass Banshee play, and we were kind of flirting with the idea of responding to this with mass Corsair. Stargate, I do like the idea of coining Corsair, especially against mech. Corsairs, they're not just anti-air units. One, they do splash damage against air units. They can shut down Banshees very hard. On top of that, they also have support to apply as well. They can throw down disruption webs. If you're curious as to what disruption web is, it's similar to Blinding Cloud. It is similar to Blinding Clouds. So again, it's a good way to support your ground army, your gateway army, especially against mech, especially against a tank heavy style. So this is a good reaction here from Classic. And as we mentioned, he's kind of learning and adapting over the course of the series. So Corsairs are on the way. Getting into his Temple Archives, working towards Storm and Archons. Banshees are moving in. They move in. Corsairs are ready. Just need that detection. And yeah, this is going to be shut down. TaeJa is going to be chased down. He needs Hyperlight Rotors. He does split up though. Does try to split. Rotors does kick in. And the Banshees should escape. Oh god, the stutter stepping. Stutter stepping at a Classic. Get some extra damage. TaeJa backs up. And we're getting into a second Stargate, into a Fleet Beacon. Getting ready for that Sky Toss. Getting ready for the Mass Corsair, I should say. We'll see if he is going. If he was going mass Corsair, he'd be making more. So far, it's still just one Corsair. So one Corsair, he might be planning to go into into Skytoss, into Carrier. Okay. I mean, it would also be a good response here just because of the limited anti-air, right? We have, what, 2 Cyclones? The anti-air is lacking for TaeJa. Gets one of the Banshees. And here we go, the Carriers are on the horizon. Carriers are amassing, Banshees, they do hit the mineral line. Catching transporting workers. For 5 probes going down. And nice flyby here from TaeJa. To work. Gets 8 workers. 11 even. And TaeJa, I don't think he's yet. Oh, no, he's confirmed. Yeah, he has confirmed the Skytoss. He's aware of the mass carrier. Doesn't even find them. That out. And his response is to go into mass Viking, making use of all these starports, of course, and switching into Thor production. Okay. So Thors are amassing, Vikings as well, producing as much anti-air as he can. Meanwhile, Classic getting into the carrier capacity upgrade. Doubling the capacity. Carriers are now useful. I still feel like it'd be wise to invest into more Corsairs. Like, again, whether it's against mass, like a slower form of mech, even mass Thor like this, maybe I'm putting too much value on Disruption Web, but I feel like it'd be pretty good. Just saying. Yami's a posturing. Both armies are maxed out. CC gets cancelled. Remember, here come the storms. Dust before the army does clump. No storm though. Wait, he forgot. He forgot the upgrade. No storm. Yeah, storm is not available. He thought he had it. I thought he had it. Ay. Yeah, did miss the opportunity. He did miss any storms. That storm was never researched. Not like this. Thors are moving in. They're lagging a little bit behind, attacking the interceptors. Oh, yeah, messy fight at TaeJa. Miscontrol. As Thors, they were lagging behind because they were just attacking interceptors. They were not target firing. So a messy fight. Where he takes down most of the carriers. Both armies do trade. Rebuilding more carriers. This time Storm is going to be ready. Ay. Yeah, we both realized at the same time when the high tempo moved forward and nothing happened. I was like, wait. I was like, hold on. No. Feel Storm, man. As that fight could have gone so much better there for Classic. So both armies are remaxing. Classic mass expanding, taking more bases. And is almost already remaxed. Still needs a little bit more time. A lot of that supply still in the production. Storms do zone. As once TaeJa maxes out, then we should be looking to engage. Actually, TaeJa already pushing. Trying to come in from behind. A classic pushing up the ramp. And we'll have that high ground advantage. Does storm the tanks. Yeah, storms a pop. Well, they shut down most of the mech army. Vikings are on their own, and Thors are lagging behind. Once again, they do lag behind. Despite that, they're still working their way through. Thors are coming. The Thors are moving in. At the same time, though, 18 SCV kills also popping up from the mineral line. TaeJa, his supply plummets, his economy plummets. Planetary does hold. But again, that's going to be 18 SCV kills. And more Zealous into the natural. More damage being done. The carriers are being focused down. These Thors, I mean, they can still pack a massive punch. We need more storms. There's only 2 Templar. Only 1 storm. TaeJa still pushing forward. Still has, again, that massive mech army. And classic, he avoids it. Yeah, he avoids the main fight. He goes for the counterattack instead. He gets spotted. TaeJa reacts. Classic does commit. No stasis fields. Yeah, no stasis fields. Ooh, brutal storms though. Storms actually hold their own against Thors. But I think that was the only storm. Yeah, we have more flanking storms coming in. Thors are getting low. Dragoons, can they take him down? Can he hold? Gets 2 Thors. Oh god, it's still not a clean trade though. Classic as Skytos gets reset, he loses all the High Templar. Stuck with Master Dragoon. And fighting the Thors is one thing, but look at all these tanks. Like, the tank line is solid here. And TaeJa, he should only be fighting within range of those tanks. So he pushed out a little bit too far earlier. But again, his tank line is solid. Just fight together, Pappy. Fight together. Oh. Speaking of, Classic catching out a couple of reinforcing tanks. Gets 2. 2 tanks go down. Classic collapsing in. The tanks are on their own. Yeah, no support for the tanks. They're left abandoned. And with that Classic, he will clean this up. He'll take down every single tank. Yeah, no support here. The Thor's out of position. The Hellbats as well. TaeJa, he abandoned his boys. And Classic is maxed. Classic is maxed out. Takes a massive fight. Now I can keep going. Classic, he can keep pushing. Going to Arbiter. Earlier I was talking about the strength of Disruption Web. Yo, that pales in comparison to Mass Stasis Fields. You want to say anything's in style? There we go. Stasis Field is being researched. He might not need it. I don't think he does. That's Classic. He starts steps into the main base, catching out the production, does force a reaction out of TaeJa. They'll say dive on top of the tanks. It's going to be 2 tanks going down, 3 tanks falling. Storm of the Vikings. GG gets called before the Arbiters arrive. And Classic, he will tie the series up 2-2. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Very, very intense mid-game there. We saw TaeJa. I want to say that he had the composition, he had the army, but when it came to the overall army control, that was lacking there for TaeJa. I'm referring to the first fight in the center where the Thors were lacking behind. They were on A move. So Thors, they were on A move attacking interceptors, whereas the rest of the army was engaging with the carriers, with the Storm, with the Dragoons as well, and we saw that TaeJa did not really take that fight too efficiently. Likewise, afterwards we saw him fighting out of range of all of his tanks. He had what, like 10 tanks in the center of the map. He was fighting out of range. He lost a bunch of his Thors, and of course he was distracted, pulled apart. The tanks were abandoned, and we saw Classic pull them apart. GG, well played. It did tear him apart, and with that we have a back and forth series. We're tied up 2-2, and we're loading into Purity and Industry. Let's go. We're loading in. As a reminder, this is a best of 9. Best of 9 between Classic and TaeJa. Let's go. Getting into game 5. So still plenty more games ahead of us. Plenty more. As spawning in the top side of Purity and Industry, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran, the Brood War Terran. It is TaeJa. And spawning in the bottom side of Purity and Industry, we have the SE2 Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. Just catching in the chat. What game mode is this? The game mode is, or the game mod is StarCraft Evolution. StarCraft Evolution is a mod that does pin together Brood War versus SE2 in a 1v1 format. Has been around for a couple of years and only recently hit the international scene last year. I want to say like around July of last year, when it got a little bit more traction as development on the mod has been progressing and getting more and more to the point where now, you know, tournaments are being run. I think it really caught people's attention last year when we had the big Chijik tournament, which was a big tournament in South Korea, a big invitational, which invited a bunch of Brood War and SE2 Korean pros. And then it got interest in the international scene, and we got an international circuit, a global circuit. So it's been over a year, actually, over a year since it's been in the limelight. And since we've been casting it, as well. Of course, the mod is actively worked on, actively patched over time. Actively patched. When it comes to balancing, when it comes to addressing certain concerns. That's another kind of big benefit here of this championship. Again, this is like the big SE Evo tournament of the year. The championship is that it's also going to kind of determine and showcase like what the meta is looking like at the moment, where any issues are. I think a big example of that is PvP. We saw a lot of the PvPs devolve into proxy double robo, for example, and there was a lot of strength in that. I'm sure that's going to be addressed in some way when it comes to the upcoming patch after the event. But overall has been quite solid, at least TVP. As for the first time this series, we have a 3-rack stim timing. Okay, so we have 2 racks early on. We're going for the early academy into early stim. For those that are maybe watching for the first time, the reason why this hits quite hard is because in Brood War, my apologies, factory follow-up. Okay. Never mind. I was gonna go into a bit of a tirade or a bit of a rant about Brood War, about these stim timings, how they do hit different, and they do hit different just because you do not need to wait for your starport for medevac support, for your bio army. You can make medics from the racks, but we're not going for the academy, we're not going for a 3rd rack, so we're going for the factory instead. Okay, you have my attention. TaeJa. You have my attention. Unlike SE2, I mean, I think there's a lot of faith that there is a patch coming up soon for SE2. I mean, we all know that there's a new map pool coming out in November. So we have a new map pool, a new team game map pool as well. We are still going for the academy though. Interesting. We're okay. So we have a 2-1-1 setup here. We have the academy on the way. We're going to have less Marines. I mean, we're skipping Marine production entirely in favor of these starports. Where are you taking us? Thankfully, Classic does scout, so he sees, he's aware that we don't really have as strong of a stim timing. Are we switching into mech from here? 2 racks into mech? Wait, wait, hold on. We're rushing into a proxy science facility. What is happening? Yo, TaeJa, he's got some builds, Bab. He's got some builds. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this, so I'm ready. Let's go. So, proxy science facility with the faster starport. Are we rushing into a science vessel? Okay. Covert ops on the way. Proxy in the science vessel, proxy in the covert ops. The add-on. Meanwhile, back at home, Classic, he's just chilling. He's going 3-gate blink into a third base. Very safe opener out of Classic. Working towards Storm behind this. Going to be going Storm before charge. Interesting. And we are rushing into Ghost. Okay. It's all coming together. We're rushing into lockdown. Let's go. Okay, we're going for a ghost rush here on 2 bases. Now the racks make sense. So 2 racks opener because eventually we'll need them for the ghost production. Going into the 2-1-1, into the proxy, into ghost, into lockdown. Lockdown, for those who are unaware, is kind of similar to interference matrix on the Raven. So the Raven has interference matrix. Lockdown is similar, except it's on the ghost. Lockdown is similar, but even better because lockdown actually does stasis the unit in place. So the unit cannot run away, is locked down. Oh boy. TaeJa. Okay, we go into second factory. Interesting. So tanks are amassing, ghosts are building up. For the time being, Classic is unaware. He has not confirmed this yet. But we have sentries, which should be seeing a hallucination scout soon. You can see the Marines are positioned to deny the scout. And it is going to be initially ghost rush into mech. Okay, so it is going to be that mech transition. Initially, I thought it was Churax into mech, and it is, but in a different way. So we're going into Mass Vulture. Here comes a hallucination. Through the slow zones. Hallucination moves in, the Marines are in position. And can we deny the scout? It does rush past. Yeah, Marines not in time. And does he? Yeah, does scout, does confirm the mass ghost. Aye, aye, aye. Classic knows. Classic, he knows, he's aware. And now it's go time. TaeJa starting to move out. Behind this, we already have some High Templar ready here. Templar ready, going for the Stargates. Are we just going to slow the game down? Now, for a moment, I assumed that TaeJa was going to be hitting a timing, but no, TaeJa, he's fully walling up. He's fully walling off, getting a third, slowing things down, and embracing mass mech. So he's not actually pushing with the ghost. It's possible that maybe his plan here was to catch Classic being aggressive and punish him with the lockdown by locking down the army. But Classic, upon seeing this, yeah, we're rushing into a late game. Okay, let's go. So TaeJa, he's turtling up as hard as he can. Meanwhile, Classic is expanding and getting ready for a sky toss. Okay. So, interesting build, interesting setup. And again, I'm pretty sure the purpose of the ghost was to punish Classic being aggressive. But now it's time to turtle on up. We're gonna be here for a while, Bappy. Okay. Here we go. Bienvenidos. Good morning, good morning. Este Kipstier. Buenos dias. Fleet beacons on the way, so again, we're just working towards sky toss. Let's go. We are building up. So yeah, no rush, 10 minutes is what no rush, 10 minutes, Pappy. Let's go, let's go. I mean, Classic is being active. True is being active with his army, but he shouldn't really find a way in, and he has to be so careful. If he overextends, then he will lose some key units. That's what the ghosts are for, to punish an overextension. Go. Classic getting ready for a storm drop. Storm drop towards top left. Again, we're still just turtling up very hard. we're turtling up as hard as we can. But yeah. Ghost coming in. There's a lockdown. He locks down and he will snipe not just the prism, but 2 High Templar inside. He tries to recall. He saves it. Wow, nice save. Clutch save there by Classic. He does recall in time. Whew. Does save the prism. Does save the High Templar. You can see that we're still stasis. We're still locked down as well. Still locked down in the corner of the map. But hey, does save it. So big save by Classic. Vultures rushing past. Ooh. Storms are keeping up. Spider-Mines. Oh, dude, can I? Oh my god, the Stalker can gets reset. Stalkers go down. We take the Spider-Mines to the face. Classic, be careful. As Vultures, they rush behind the mineral line. Again, this is just a harassing force. Just a harass. We do intend to throw away these Vultures. These Vultures are thrown away. They get 7 probe kills. They pick off how many Stalkers? It was 4. 4 Stalkers went down. And 2 Zealots. Scared into the main, reveals the Sky Toss. And we're making 8 Goliaths at a time. So nice scan. TaeJa had no idea. He had no idea Sky Toss was coming. He has a very ground-based army. Anti-ground-based army. So here come the Goliaths. They're coming online. Oh. Storms are coming in. Into the mass tank. Jesus. The lockdown once again locks down the prism, but this time there are no High Templar inside. The prism does fall. Nice EMP. Very nice EMP on the Templar. Remember, in Brood War, Ghosts don't EMP. Science Vessels do. Science Vessels, they have EMP instead. So did land 1 massive EMP. There's 1 Templar remaining with energy. So from here, Classic has to back off again, playing with fire. Trying to keep TaeJa at bay, just buying more time for more Immortals. Massive Immortal is amassing. 3 Immortals at a time. Building up the Immortal counts. Meanwhile, recalls into the main. Let's go. Doesn't go for the massive recall. TaeJa out of position. He's going for the production, going for the kill. Science Vessels going down. We'll lose 3 Science Vessels. A bit of miscontrol there from TaeJa. It rallies in, and Classic, he has the high ground. He has the high ground. He has the advantage. We're locking down some of those Immortals. Army's trying to break through, and will. Nice lockdowns. Nice lockdowns on the carrier as well. And TaeJa will clean this up, but at a loss though. He will lose so much in the main base. Workers, the army. TaeJa plummets in supply. He will eventually clean this up. But still a better trade for Classic. And he can always recall out. True. There it is. Does recall out. Recalls in, recalls out. Abusing the immobility here of TaeJa. And Classic, he's almost remaxed. He's almost remaxed. Okay, another mothership. He abandons the idea of Sky Toss. Going for the ground army instead. Here we go. Move in. Waiting out some of the spider mines. Vultures, they get into the main base, they get into the gold, they try to punish. Couple of workers going down. Classic, he rotates. TaeJa is almost remaxed, almost. Needs more time. And TaeJa not quite in position. He was at the third base. Classic moving in, gets into the mineral line. And Classic just extending his lead. Even supply blocking TaeJa. Nah, TaeJa is supply blocked. Mothership back into the main, going for another recall. Bold move. Does go for the recall. Oof. Does land in. Throws down the slow zone. Mass Storm. We got some decent lockdowns, but overall, Classic should have this. He should overwhelm. He has so many immortals. GG gets called, and Classic, he will take a lead in the series, 3-2. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Doom. Doom in the chat. Doom of Malandal getting a gifted sub by Kipsteer. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to the community. We do always appreciate the support. Este Kipsteer, and a shout out to Doom for gaining the sub. GG, well played. Meanwhile, TaeJa, he had a really interesting build going into the Ghost Rush, rushing into lockdown. As we mentioned, it did seem like the goal there was to try to catch his opponent being maybe overly aggressive, to turtle up, build up, and max out. And TaeJa, he got there. He got maxed out. He had some nice engagements, some nice fights, but everything went south with the recall. The recall into the main base was the game-ending move. We saw the production was under fire, a really rough trade for TaeJa, pushing up the ramp, and he was just torn apart. After that, we saw the defenses were lowered, and workers were going down left and right, and Classic did overwhelm. So went for the kill move, went for the recall. Twice in that game. With that, GG, well played. With that, Classic takes the lead, and we'll see if he can extend his lead, or if TaeJa can recover. Up next, we're loading into Blue Storm. Up next, loading in. Yo, meanwhile, big shout out to Yomers in the chat. To Yomers, continuing a sub from Istan. Oh, thank you. Este Istan. And Este Yomers. Thank you so much for resubbing. As we're getting into our next game, we're continuing our best of 9, of course, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Blue Storm, we have the SC2 Terran player, the StarCraft 2 Terran, the red Terran. It is TaeJa. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brood War Protoss. We have the blue Protoss leading the series 3-2. It is a Classic. Hello, Mr. SCV. What's going on? As we do hide the SCV out in the center of the map, and it looks like we might be setting up for a proxy. Oh no, never mind. Waiting for the SCV, sorry, waiting for the probe scout. As the probe moves out, we're going for the eBay block. Okay. Yeah, nice timing there from TaeJa. He does slip in, he does slip by, and he sets up for the block at the natural. So cheeky move here from TaeJa. As welcome 1-0 to Blue Storm. Blue Storm has a very short rush distance by ground, but has a bit of a defendable natural because of how narrow the choke point is. I say bit of a defendable because it's a low ground natural base. There's high ground right outside it, pushing down into the natural. So there are some unique features. There's the eBay block, Classic force to expand at the third location. So the unnatural natural for Classic. TaeJa, he could respond with a factory into Hellion Cyclone and try to punish and abuse how spread out Classic is. We've seen this before, especially on Blue Storm. So we'll see if he goes into the factory, into the reactor follow-up. We shall see. Yep, there's the factory on the way. We'll see if we go for the reactor. Oh, Tech Lab. That I was not expecting. With the faster Tech Lab, we could go for the add-on swap into Cyclone. And then we can try to abuse it with the Cyclones instead of Hellions. Bunker is on the way. Marines are moving out. TaeJa, he wants that natural. And no add-on swap, he's actually going into Concussive Shell Marauders, also rattling across the map. So hyper aggression out of TaeJa, goes into Concussive Shell Marauders and goes to the Tech Lab in the factory, reinforcing with Cyclones. So TaeJa is doubling down, forcing a fight at the natural. At the third, Dragoon moves in. The shield battery is helping. We have a backup shield battery on the way. Getting additional shield batteries. Oh, hold on. That was a tech lab into add-on swap. We're not rushing Cyclone. Okay. S to TaeJa. Oh, the SCV goes down. We do have a backup SCV to repair. Oh, the last bunker will still fall. And Classic holds. Classic, he holds, he defends. Meanwhile, TaeJa rushing into what looks to be Banshee play instead. Sniping the Marauders. TaeJa getting a little bit wasteful here. Losing a lot of units. And trades out a Marauder. That's still, what, 2 Marauders for 1 Dragoon. That was the first Dragoon going down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, brutal losses here. And now TaeJa stuck on 1 base. He is going into Banshee, but he will lose map control. Classic can move out. He can punish this setup. He can punish the position. He can punish the natural. He's going in. Okay, the tank is out. Tank will help. But remember, we have the high ground to take advantage of. So far, tank boys, they're connecting. Doesn't miss his shots. Oh, meanwhile, TaeJa, he does let it finish. That should not have happened. So no cancellation on the eBay. Doesn't cancel, and the game is slowing down. Okay, we can take a moment, we can take a breath. So Classic, he defends his natural base. With that, he can now embrace his economy, setting up for a 3rd base and following this up with with Reaver drops. Reaver drops are going to be on the way. Meanwhile, TaeJa back at home, going for a very delayed CC. This is a CC after the starport, so late expansion. He's behind, double expand. Makes sense. TaeJa, he's behind economically, so he's going for the double expand. This is quite greedy. This is quite risky. We'll see if he can get away with it. So TaeJa will take a big risk. Banshee moves out. Cloak is still on the way. But Banshee will hit the natural. Banshee is going to be sniped. To get 3 probes, that is not worth a Banshee. So better trade for Classic. As Reavers are amassing. Classic moving out with a Dragoon drop instead. Okay. Oh, sorry, it does come back. Does come back with the Dragoon drop. Would you see attempted buy for the first time out of TaeJa? Okay. Getting into buy. We've seen a lot of mech out of TaeJa throughout the course of this series. From both SE2 and Brood War. But no, for the first time we have Stim, we have Bio here out of our Terran. Let's go. And he's getting into this from behind, which is the unfortunate reality. Like, Classic has a booming economy. Drop is coming in. Oh, shot takes down the Cyclone. Thankfully, there's a tank in the main. Viking as well. Viking will zone away. Viking zones. Is that a second? That's a second Stargate. We're going into carriers. Okay. Classic rushing into carrier tech. ¿Por qué no, pa? Why not? Why not? Sure. Alright, settle in, people. Settle in. Classic does move out. Classic does move out, does move in. Get the Reaver shots already. Oh, no major connections. Nothing major. Tanks that were caught on Siege Ramon. Oh, better connection towards the end. Yeah, big chunk of bio goes down. TaeJa contained on 2 bases. Sure, he did open up 3 CC, but he has yet to land. He is contained. And the win condition here for Classic is just contained. Just contain the Terran player. Keep them pinned on 2 bases. Scarab shots. Oh, jeez, the Scarab shots are going off. They shut down the bio. Brutal connections. And again, TaeJa just had a really shaky start to this game. Oh god, as the army is stacking. TaeJa does take the Scarabs to the face. Oh, does end up catching a Reaver. Gets one. Doesn't get the other. One Reaver does go down. And what's important though is that behind this Classic is delaying the third, which he has successfully done, and he's massing up carriers. Carriers are massing behind this. We have the capacity upgrade on the way. And TaeJa, he's still unaware. He's still, again, trying to keep his head above water. Carriers are now revealed. Oh! Gets one of the Reavers, not bad. One Reaver gets sniped. The carrier is now revealed. TaeJa has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull back. Oh, nice bits. Nice bits towards the end. The Reaver goes down. Solid target firing once again out of TaeJa. Gets both Reavers. Boys are being pulled. And this is going to be a tough hold. 2 goons, they do kite back. And the SCVs go down. The main army goes down. GG gets called as Classic does overwhelm, and Classic will extend his lead 4-2. GG. GG, well played. As a reminder, TaeJa, he did have a very, very aggressive start to this game, going for the 1-1-1, a bunker rush across the map, heavily delayed natural base, and he failed to get damage done. TaeJa, he fell behind early after the failed 1-base play, and it was a rocky road to recovery there from TaeJa. Very, very rough. He never got his third base fully operational. He fell behind. He stayed behind. And with that lead, Classic had some fun with it. Taked up into Skytoss. Taked up into Skytoss. And with that, we're now getting into game number 7, potentially the final game of the series. Classic needs one more game to claim the series and to be this season's champion. Let's go. Up next, we're loading into Troy. Loading into Troy. Again, the 1-base play, the bunker rush did not work out for TaeJa. And we'll see what we go for here as we're loading into Troy. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have the... we'll put it like this. There we go. The SE2 Terran player. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can try to force that ace match. Can he go the distance? It is TaeJa. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Brutal Protoss player for Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And welcome 1-0 to Troy. Troy, once again, is one of my favorite maps in the tournament map pool. Is a 4-player spawn map. That is true, but there are so many quirks when it comes to this map. We have the potential island base that you can take here just outside of the main, which of course is completely closed off. You do need some drop play to be able to gain access to that base, or Nidus play, for example. Meanwhile, we have the natural. There's a ramp coming into the natural, so you are very defendable on 2 bases. The third base is more exposed, but that is where the assimilators come into play. If you recall, we spoke on this earlier, how the assimilators are empty, they are neutral, and the way it works is that if you destroy the assimilators, you fully wall this area off. You get a permanent wall when it comes to these areas coming into these fringe bases, the potential third, the potential fourth base, the main base as well. For now, it is a 4-player small map. We can see Classic, he is going to be, I mean, our player is going to be searching for their opponents. SCV moves out. And TaeJa, it looks like he's going for the cross scout. Yeah, he's scouting diagonally across the map. So TaeJa, he'll have a late scout of Classic. We can see TaeJa not going CC first. Interesting. Does go Rax expand. So standard opener out of TaeJa. Meanwhile, Classic settling in. No probe scout. No probe scout from the Protoss. As the SCV does move in, it is going to be a robot opener, so it looks like a Reaver drop out of Classic. Does open up Reaver drop. I'm assuming that, but we have seen this robot opener into the observatory, into observer, into a gateway heavy style, true. But that's usually after a 2-gate opener, and it's only one. So only one gateway, so we're leaning more towards the bay. Yep, there it is. Bay's on the way. Reaver's on the horizon. Meanwhile, TaeJa once again going into bio for the second time this series. We have a second Rax on the way. Oh, it's going to be 3cc. Hyper Greed out of TaeJa going 3cc 3 Rax. This is a notorious Bjorn build. Bjorn is very fond of this in SE2. This is very greedy, and this can snowball out of control and skyrocket the Terran ahead in the mid game when they get their third base up and running. But the question is, does TaeJa get it up and running? Can he get away with that third base, or will he be punished by the Reaver drop? As Classic also going for the faster third, drops down that probe. Will expand on the low ground. Now, there are some pros and cons to this build. Once again, a hyper greed out of TaeJa. Big delay on the factory, which means big delay on any tank production. So the defensive setup here is weaker for TaeJa. He has a bunker on the high ground. Thankfully, we do have a high ground here at the natural. That makes it more defendable. But we're going to be relying on Vanilla Marines. Vanilla Marines to defend against the Reaver drop. Shuttle does scout, does confirm the location of the Terran. Shuttle speed is on the way. First Reaver has arrived. We're crawling in. So here comes the drop. Because there are no medevacs either, we can just deny any kind of mining here at the third. Jeez, TaeJa's being so greedy. Just landing immediately. Classic, it looks like he's second guessing himself a little bit. It looked like maybe he wanted to come back for a double Reaver drop, but that's not the case.
You must construct additional pylons. Research complete.
Breaks in, sees saturation, and he should kill all these SCVs. Yeah, all these workers will fall. Do we split well? Ooh, 3 Marine kills. Does find a good clump. Gets 2 more towards the end, so 5 in total. 6. 7 Marines falling. Again, 3 SCVs do fall. Mining is denied. Third base is denied here from the drop. Again, there is no more support here for the Bio Army. Just picking away at the Marines. Not the most efficient scarab shots. Getting 1 Marine at a time, but is getting there. Cleans up the army, pushes into the mineral line. Viking has arrived, and from here we got the... Oh no, the SCVs! No, they stuck! Boys are being pulled. 7 SCVs go down. Ay, 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 that should not have happened. TaeJa. Pull the boys into the scarab shot. And with that, Classic does have a pretty nice start. Does have a nice... Did lose the Reaver, true. Did lose the Dragoon, did lose the Reaver, but hey, he denied mining at the third base. In total, he killed 10 SCVs, 12 Marines, 3 Marauders, a Reaper for 1 Reaver and 1 Dragoon. So not a bad trade from Classic, and he's not done. He's coming back in with another Reaver. He's going back in. He scouts the would-be third base. Behind this, Stargate is on the way. Classic goes to the mineral line. Oh, they clump up again. 3 SCVs and 2 mules. Yeah, that was two mules going down. And he wants those workers. Oh god, they stay stacked. The Reaver does go down once again, but the shuttle escapes. The shuttle does escape. That was 7 SCVs. That was 2 mules and a Marine and a Hellion. For 1 Reaver. TaeJa is pushing. He has him. TaeJa's trying to move out. Classic coming in with another Reaver. No! Once again, no splits, no spread. Takes the shot to the face. Does catch the shuttle though. Ah, never mind. Never mind. The shuttle does get away. Shuttle escapes. We do have some Viking harass. Nicely done. Killing some probes. But TaeJa's main army does crumble. And that means that Classic has access to the third. And can he kill the expansion? Again, that's a lot of Dragoons. Does get the mineral line. The expansion taking a lot of hits. TaeJa trying to respond. With enough Marauders, he should be able to save the base. It's getting low though. It's getting quite low. Marauders are being targeted. 3 Marauders left. Down to 3. Down to 2. Again, TaeJa should hold. Yeah. He does hold on, does defend at the same time. Reaver drop into the main base, getting more SCVs. Once again, we kind of spread, but there's still a lot of clubs. No! 18 SCVs go down. The splits are not good enough here for TaeJa. They've not been good enough. It's been clumping too much. Classic is moving out. Thankfully, he doesn't catch the medevacs. That would have been game. I mean, at this point, Classic has a massive lead anyway. He wants the base. He wants the expansion. Oh, the drop will distract. Classic, where are we headed? Classic, he should lose this expansion, but he's going for the kill. He's going for the main army. Rough trades against the Marauders. Back at home, that drop should pop off. Classic, once again, he denies the third. And Classic, he has his own fourth. His own fourth base is getting up. Now, at least TaeJa's killing an expansion. At least that is occurring. But Classic still has the base up and running. Carrier production has begun. There's a scan. Does spot the Skytals. Does spot the carriers. Oh no. No, TaeJa! Oh, he gets spotted. Okay, gets away. Whew. Does get away. TaeJa re-expanding. TaeJa getting into battle mech. We have Hyperflight Rotors 3. We have Magpul accelerators on the way. Does them in. Does catch a massive chunk of Dragoons. Dragoons, they need support. Do need that support. And so far, that's a lot of Dragoons going down. TaeJa trading very efficiently here. Drops into the third. Classic has to respond. And Classic, he will lose a mineral line. TaeJa's popping off. Oh, beautiful medevac. But TaeJa is trading well. Does trade well for himself, does re-expand. TaeJa is still in this game, still behind when it comes to supplies, still in a rough position. But hey, he's been trading quite well recently. We just got to do that again. I'm still not convinced by this. We have with Magpul accelerators. Getting as much incense. Oh, we're just pulling the boys. Okay, we're just going for the 2-base all in. The boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing for TaeJa. He's here to end it. He's here to end it. Oh. Yeah, takes down the Reaver. Reaver goes down. We needed better Reaver shots here. Stepping in. Scrap shot of the Marines. Reaver gets targeted. Yeah, nice focus firing out of TaeJa, but the boys are being pulled. And Classic, he just has to survive. He has to hold on. And he will. Yeah, Classic, he's holding. No more Marauders, only Marine. Only Marine. I mean, the economies are brutal for both players. Also, bearing in mind that Classic does not have the carrier upgrade. Doesn't have the capacity upgrade. Vikings, they can just go to town. The Vikings, they're popping up. They get a carrier. They get one. Can they get the other? Oof. As Marines are falling, there we go. Second carrier goes down. Still very close, very clutch. Down to one carrier against 3 Vikings. Zeltsa moving in. Down to 2 Vikings. Oh no! The carrier does go down, but there's another one coming in to reinforce. Classic, he barely comes out on top. Barely takes the fight. These are slow lots, by the way. There's no speed. Yeah, there's no charge for Classic. Desperation warp-ins. And as those settles, Classic still has a better economy. He's still on 43 probes. 43 workers. TaeJa down to 23. He has no mining at the natural. He's muling as best he can. Remember, TaeJa, he went all in. He pulled the boys. That was meant to kill, and it didn't. And if this game goes any longer, then Classic will get further and further ahead. I'll get further ahead here. Oh, God. Yeah, Reaver shots are going off, and Classic is here to claim the series. He's here to claim the tournament. He came in as the favorite player. He came in as the best Protoss in StarCraft Evolution. He's here to take it all. Here to take it all. TaeJa, he had a crazy performance. Considering that TaeJa hasn't really been back for too long. He's been back for like 2 months. 2 months, has returned to the game to SE Evolution. So for TaeJa to also make it to the finals was very impressive when it comes to his rate of improvement. Very impressive. But alas, full medevac goes down. And then he took down some big names. Took down some big names in Cure, in Rogue. Took him down, back. Took him down. But there's a reason why Classic was the runner-up of StarCraft 2, of EWC, and also the best performing Protoss player in StarCraft Evolution. TaeJa can maybe try to go for one big engage. Oh, no Reavers. Okay. Reavers are lagging behind. Oh, God. Scarab shots, they pop off. Carrier is abandoned. So it does bring down the carrier. Oh, God. But he cannot fight head on. Not like this. Not like this. Oh. As Reaver does fall, but again, the Dragoons, they're somewhat trading here. Reinforcements on the way. Oh, where are we rallying? Where are we going? Where is the rally, Pappy? There we go. As Classic, he brings it all together. Cleans up the army. We barely do escape with, what, 1 Cyclone and a Marine. Sorry, Cyclone and a Marauder. And Classic is pushing. At least he's trying to. The Reavers are quite slow. They'll get there eventually. They'll get there. They're reinforcing. Oh. Shuttle almost gets caught out. Oof. Reavers do come in. Oh, catching out the shuttle. Not bad. Shuttle goes down. Meanwhile, mining is going to be denied. And TaeJa still has a comparable army size to Classic. True. And Classic only fighting with half his army. But likewise, TaeJa also getting caught out. Let's go, what, 5, 6 Dragoons? 5 Dragoons go down. Decent catch. And Classic just has to calm down. Just calm down. back off, build up those Reavers. Boys are being pulled for the second time. Yeah, and the army does clump up. Yeah, the Reavers annihilate the Bio army. Oof. Catching out the SCVs. That's going to be 20 SCVs going down. And this was all that TaeJa had left. He's got 2 more boys. Let's go. 2 more SCVs down to 1. Down to 0. He's got 3 SCVs mining back at home. Somewhat mining. He floats over his main base to try to expand, to try to have a semblance of an economy. Hey, he's got some mules, true. The CC goes down. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Congratulations to Classic, as he will claim the series 5-2, becoming this season's StarCraft Evolution League champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Classic, as he does claim the entire tournament, the entire league. Well played. He did come in as one of the heavy favorites. Coming into this tournament, there were 3 players on my mind. There were 3 players, 1 for each race. I was thinking of Classic, thinking of Bjorn, and thinking of Shin. But alas, Shin, he didn't make it through the group stage. He did not make it through the group stage. He got knocked out early on in the tournament, and Bjorn never played against Classic. He got knocked out earlier on by Creator. You can actually see the run here. I was very surprised by Creator. He had a crazy performance. Creator, he's even newer to StarCraft Evolution than TaeJa. Creator, he's only been playing for a couple of weeks. So Creator, he is much newer to the SE Evo scene, but has been on that grind, and Creator had a very impressive run against, or impressive showing against Bjorn, and took him down 3-2, then went up against Classic. Likewise, TaeJa was able to show off against Cure and Rogue. Cure and Rogue, 2 players that are less familiar with SE Evolution, kind of dipping their toes in. They were a lot more reliant on their StarCraft 2 play and their StarCraft 2 skills, and that's what they relied upon. TaeJa, he had a lot more variety to his play. He had a lot more breadth to his play, a lot more experience as well, and TaeJa shut down both Cure and Rogue, looking very dominant in those matches. I say dominant. Against Rogue did go all the way to the ace match, that is true, but those were some quirkier games. There's a lot going on there with the island map, for example, with the attempted cheese, the attempted failed proxy from TaeJa in that series, and in the end it led into the grand finals. It led into TaeJa versus Classic, just now updating. Bam, there we go, with Classic claiming the win 5-2. Oh, did claim it in the end. GG, well played. So congratulations here, congratulations to Classic for claiming the tournament, and shout out to TaeJa for making it all the way to the finals. I don't think that many people had their eyes on TaeJa to go this far, but again, he did actually perform quite well. He's been improving a lot, and now it also makes sense as to why he has been playing more in StarCraft 2 tournaments. I mentioned this before. If you did miss it, TaeJa has been competing in StarCraft 2 events as of late, in tournaments like Sparkling Tuna Cup and Woody TV Mondays. In the online weeklies, TaeJa has also been dipping his toes in ST2, so really excited to see if his return to StarCraft comes in the form of StarCraft 2 as well. We'll see. Clearly, like, he has that kind of drive to compete again, has that drive to at least take part and participate again. So really cool to see him going further than just StarCraft Evolution, but StarCraft 2 as well. So really cool to see. Something that I should emphasize is that this return is a little bit temporary, so I should temper people's expectations. Again, he's been back for like around 2 months at this point, but just to reiterate, TaeJa, he did just finish his kind of like quote-unquote entrance exam, or his exam to go into, or to become a civil servant in Korea. And he's waiting for results. He's waiting for the results to be posted, waiting to actually get that, to actually, you know, go further in his career and to go into his next kind of stage of his life as well. When it comes to kind of like his IRL career, I should say that, because he's waiting for that to occur, is because he's waiting for those results. That's why he's playing in these tournaments. That's why he's competing in SE Evolution and going back into StarCraft. He has been enjoying himself. He has been finding a lot of success. But from my understanding, once that happens, once he gets those results in the coming months, then he's going to be departing once again from StarCraft. So just as a heads up, so we have TaeJa. We got to appreciate him while we can. It's great to see his return, even if it is going to be, you know, temporary. It's great to see him again after so many years, so many years. Again, he retired like back in, was it 2020 or 2021? He retired like, I want to say coming into COVID. If you remember, he retired quite a lot in his career, but he came back like in relatively recent times. I think it was 2020 when he retired. Most recently, because he returned to the game and he returned to competing in Korea with mixed success. Let's have a look. In my mind, it's 2020. Let's see. Yeah, 2020. So he retired back in 2020. So it's been 5 years since his retirement. So again, great to see him here once again. Been a long time. GG. GG, well played. As with that, we are going to be wrapping up. We're going to be wrapping up here for the season. When it comes to more StarCraft Evolution content, I would imagine that they are going to be constructing. I would imagine that they're going to be constructing something to work on. I say something to work on. The patch. I would imagine that the creators of the events are going to be going through a lot of these matches, going through a lot of these series, and there are definitely some areas that can be maybe worked on. I mean, for me, the PvPs they got a little bit silly just because of how heavily reliant we were. On proxies when it comes to the PvP, so I'm sure that's going to be looked at some point. But regardless, it was really cool to see. Once again, to see our players once again competing, taking part, and I'm sure there's going to be another season in the future. I know that Hyper One is very fond of StarCraft Evolution. I know he's taken a greater role when it comes to working on the mod itself. So I'm sure we'll be seeing another season in the coming year. And likewise, I'm sure we're going to see the return of many other tournaments as well. I said this before, but now is the time for StarCraft Evolution during the off-season of EWC, right? SE Evo has been running the entire year, but a lot of players were focusing on StarCraft 2 for good reason, because of the esports World Cup, right? Because of the esports World Cup, they were focusing, and because of all the big tournaments like GSL, like Fusion Esports League, alongside Star Zagora, and all these other, and DreamHack, of course, and all these other StarCraft 2 tournaments. It was a really condensed period in StarCraft, but now that we're in the off season, now that EWC has concluded, now is the time where players, these big pro players, like even players like Rogue and Cure and Classic and Beyond and all these others, now they are more willing to play and try out something different, to play StarCraft Evolution, to compete in 2v2 tournaments, 3v3 tournaments, 4v4 tournaments. So I feel like now is the best time for these modded tournaments or team game leagues to rise up and to take players' attention, so players can focus on this sort of thing during the off season before the next year. So yeah, now's the take the opportunity, papi. Aprovecha, papi, aprovecha. It's catching him. So I look forward to seeing it. We've been already seeing more modded tournaments as well. When it comes to proposed balance patches, I know that's also on the horizon for StarCraft 2, is the new map pool and the proposed balance patches as well. So all in the horizon regarding the future of SE2. All the best for TaeJa in his career, but I love to see him playing again. Yeah, for sure. Great to see him playing again. For sure. After 5 years, 5 years. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We are wrapping up here for today's broadcast. Today is going to be a very busy day when it comes to StarCraft, when it comes to our casting, of course. As you can see here, bam! You can see our schedule. We just wrapped up with our morning Thursday cast, and up next we're going to be live with the podcast. That's going to be at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be at 8 p.m. AEST. That'll be in 5 hours. Oof, 5 hours time, we're going to be live with the podcast. Then after that, at 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. my time, is going to be my assist of the game. So another big cast, 4 days straight of my assist of the game. That's a big offline event happening in France. The next big SE2 tournament, I should say, crowdfunded as well with an offline portion. So the group stage begins tonight. We also have OSC King of the Hill, we have OSC mid-season playoffs thereafter as well. So a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. It's gonna get pretty intense here, especially this period. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I'm gonna try to get some sleep in between these casts as best as I can. Otherwise, I'm gonna run out of steam. It's gonna be a lot, Pap. It's gonna be a lot. It's four different tournaments in one day in 24 hours. So I'll do my best. But we got 4 casts in 24 hours. I'll try to have some naps in between. I'll probably have some coffee, of course, in between as well. And I did my best. All the casts. And again, we cast more StarCraft than anyone else in StarCraft in the scene. More than anyone. We have all the content, all the casting. We have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. GG, well played. So we'll see you guys later on tonight. We'll see you guys in 5 hours, or in 12 hours, or in like 22 hours. We'll because we have all the casting going on. So take care everyone. Thanks for watching, thanks for support. Stick around, we're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid, so give them some love, give them some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Also, if you want to support us, or if you want to watch us elsewhere, you can do so via YouTube. All of our VODs are uploaded to YouTube on a daily basis, so we have plenty of VODs, plenty of content out there for you to consume. VODs are no longer supported on Twitch, so all on YouTube. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time.